Just 2 months ago, Jayson Tatum won an NBA championship, which is oftentimes considered to be the one thing that eludes many NBA superstars over the course of their career. However, he failed to win Finals MVP, with his teammate Jaylen Brown stealing it away from him. And then, just a few days ago, Jayson Tatum won an Olympic gold medal, another solidifying ornament to his so far superstar career. But he only played 11 minutes in the gold medal game versus France, where he had only 2 points and 3 rebounds. And this wasn't the only time this happened in the Olympic Games, because he had 2 did not play coaches' decisions on top of that. So why is it that Jayson Tatum, probably one of the top 10 players in the NBA, isn't treated like one of the best players? Well, in my opinion, it comes down to 3 things: shooting, ball movement, and his overall situation in Boston. Let's take a look at shooting first. In the 2024 NBA Finals, Jayson Tatum averaged 22.2 points, about 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Pretty good numbers, right? It's actually better than his teammate Jaylen Brown, who won Finals MVP, averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So why did Jaylen Brown win Finals MVP over Jayson Tatum? The answer to that question? Shooting. In the finals, Jayson Tatum shot 38.8% from the field. Jaylen Brown shot 44%. And if that's not a big enough difference, let's look at the 3-point shooting. While Jaylen Brown actually shot worse than Jayson Tatum in terms of 3-point percentage, let's look at the 3-point percentage for Jayson Tatum in the 5 games in the finals. 14%, 25%, 30%, 14%, and 43%. That's really just one good game from 3 in the finals for Tatum. For Jayson Tatum, a career 37% 3-point shooter, that's not a pretty sight. Okay, so that's the finals. But why didn't Jayson Tatum play in the Olympics? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Not only did Jayson Tatum come off a stinky finals in terms of shooting, but to make things worse, he's playing under coach Steve Kerr, who obviously coaches the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, and himself was one of the premier 3-point shooters in his time with the Bulls. So is Steve Kerr going to heavily play a player that doesn't seem to shoot the ball in the big moments? It doesn't seem like it. And that's exactly what happened. Jayson Tatum didn't play a lot. Oh, and when he did, he shot a whopping 0% from 3. Yup, 0%. On how many attempts, you may ask? 16. Can't get any worse than that, Tatum. If Jayson Tatum wants to be treated like a top 10 player in this league, he needs to shoot the ball well consistently in the big games. But let's go back to that point about Steve Kerr being the coach of Team USA in the Olympics, because that leads directly into my second point about why Jayson Tatum isn't treated like a top player: ball movement. Along with Steve Kerr being a coach that likes shooting, he's also a coach that likes ball movement. And well, quite simply, Jayson Tatum is somewhat of a ball stopper. And that's not a knock on him. One of the things that makes him such a great player is his ability to take time in the half-court offense to figure out how he wants to run a play, whether it be scoring himself or dishing it off to someone else. But unfortunately for Tatum, that's just not how Steve Kerr does things. And that begs the question, if Jayson Tatum played on a different team or under a different coach, would things be different? And if he were to switch teams in the future, would he fit in as well on that team as he does in Boston? And that brings me to my last point: Jayson Tatum's situation in Boston. Jayson Tatum was drafted in 2017, right before the 2017-2018 season. His rookie season, he played with Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, who was still good at the time, and Kyrie Irving. That team won 55 games and finished second in the Eastern Conference. The next season, he played with all of them once again, and the team finished with 49 wins, good for third in the Eastern Conference. Then after that, the next season, when they didn't have Kyrie Irving, they still won 48 games and finished third in the Eastern Conference. Do you notice a pattern here? Jayson Tatum has always played on a good team. And that results in another question. What would Tatum look like if he didn't play on a good team? We've really never seen that, with the closest being when Boston was the 7th seed in 2021. In order for me to put Jayson Tatum in the same tier as the Steph Currys, the LeBrons, and Kevin Durant's in terms of the effects they've had on their team, I need to see Jayson Tatum play on a mediocre team, whether that's Boston or a different team. So there you go, 3 reasons why Jayson Tatum isn't getting the respect that other players are getting around the league. Does Jayson Tatum deserve the hype of a top 10 player? As of right now, it remains to be seen.